guys, today we're going to make homemade flour tortillas flavored with fresh cilantro and jalapeño. And the first thing I'm going to do is chop up the cilantro in a food processor. You can use a blender, however that's just more stuff to clean. So I've got a cup here. I'm going to chop it up a little bit and I'll put it in there. And then I'm going to put some of my jalapeno in. So I want to use at least a half to a third, or a third to a half of jalapeno. And then we're going to get that going. And I've got a half a cup of water here that we're slowly going to put in. This is what you would normally put in flour tortillas if you weren't adding these extra flavors. So I'm going to first pulse it to get it going. Now I'm going to put this in really slowly because we want to turn it into a puree. Just let that go for a bit. Put on my cap. So I'll remove this. And I'll get out my flour and get that ready. But first what we're going to do is put this mixture back into the cup, because when we put the flour with the lard, we need to cut that in dry so it gets into the flour more evenly. So that's probably good. Okay, so we got our cilantro and jalapeno puree in this cup, and it's measuring 3/4 of a cup. So now we want to put a cup and a half of all-purpose flour into our food processor. We're putting a cup and a half. This is a half. Missing a little more here. There. So that's a cup and a half of flour. We're going to add our salt now. So we're adding a half a teaspoon of salt. And then the baking powder. This is optional. I don't like them too thick. It does help them fluff up a little bit, but sometimes they can make them too thick. So I'm just putting in 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder. So we'll mix this up a little bit, and then we'll cut in the pork lard. So I have rendered this myself from pork fat from a farm here in Colorado, so this is really good quality. So I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons. That's 1. And that's 2. So we'll cut this in very slowly on a pulse. And then we'll add in our liquid very slowly. So let's cut the fat in very slowly. Kind of like how you make biscuits or pie crust. Should be good enough. Yes, that looks fine. So now we're going to add in our liquid. We're going to add this in real slow because the flour needs to absorb it properly. And if we put it in too fast, and sometimes you put too much in because it didn't get a chance to absorb. You get more of the cilantro from the top. Once this is mixed, guys, we're going to put it in a bowl and let it rest at least 30 minutes. It is better for an hour or even overnight because it just absorbs all the flavors and gives it a chance for the dough to rest, the gluten to rest. So I'm going to put a little more. It's not quite mixing enough. go and take a look at it. So that's all pretty much there, guys. I think I'm going to stop now. So we just have about a 1/16 of a cup left, about a tablespoon. So we basically used all that. So now, guys, I'm going to put this in a bowl covered. Let me get a bowl out. And we're going to let it rest, like I said. Get that out. It smells really good. Get the last bits out. Now I'm just going to cover it and let it rest for, I'll probably go about 30 minutes, and then I'll get back with you guys and we'll roll it into little balls, and then we'll press them on the tortilla press and then cook them up. So our flour tortilla mixture has been resting for about 30 minutes. So what I'm going to do is now shape it into balls. So first I will cut it in half, and then cut those in half, and then the next one's in half, and we'll have 8. And then we're going to just shape them and put them on a plate, and then I have a tortilla press. And we'll press them and then put them on the skillet. We got our flour tortillas shaped into balls, and now we're going to press them with our tortilla press. And we're going to set them on top, and you can push it down a little bit and then smash it down. With flour, I like to do it 2 times. With corn, I only do it once because those come out thinner. So I turned it a 1/4 turn or a 1/2 turn. Now I'm pressing it again. So also an important note is sometimes you can use parchment paper or wax paper instead of plastic. However, I have found that if there's more fat in the recipe, it doesn't come off as easily like this, and it's more of a challenge. So I've got one in here that's done. We can put that on a tray. So I'm getting my last flour tortilla off. I have them wrapped in this cotton cloth to keep warm. Here we go. Look at how good they look. And then we'll just keep them warm like that until we're ready to eat them. So enjoy, guys.